The disease has already claimed more victims than Legionnaire's disease and toxic shock syndrome combined.
This is the deadliest outbreak of Ebola on record.
There are a lot of experts around the world who do not yet know how contagious this is, how deadly this new virus is.
Here in the U.S., panic is increasing around the world about the pandemic.
And the disease spreads to North America. The consequences are multiplying.
The World Health Organization has declared a swine flu pandemic.
Is the world ready for the coronavirus?
Cholera, bubonic plague, smallpox, and influenza are some of the most deadly diseases in human history. And when they spread across regions of the world, an epidemic becomes a pandemic, and it can result in more deaths than wars and natural disasters.
A good example of that is the 1919 influenza pandemic, which took place just as the First World War was ending. Some historians believe that up to 100 million people died. In other words, many more people than died in the war itself.
And when a newly identified coronavirus emerged in China in late 2019, governments reacted like they had in the past, with quarantines and travel bans, while researchers raced to create a vaccine.
We tend to think about managing an epidemic episode like this in terms of the sort of public health or science, but in fact what I would argue is that the root of many of the issues here are sort of social, cultural and political issues, practices, how people live, working environments, how people travel, why they live in cities.
In 1980, some predicted that science would overcome epidemics. That was the year the World Health Organization declared one of the biggest killers in human history was eradicated: smallpox. In its 3,000-year existence, this one disease killed an estimated 300 million people worldwide. The global vaccination program had prevailed, and many virologists at the time were declaring an end to infectious diseases.
And that's a sort of shining example, right, of our great optimism that human societies could actually put an end to disease. At the time that smallpox was being eradicated was precisely the time that other emerging infectious diseases like Ebola were coming onto the scene.
Smallpox is still the only human disease to be eradicated, and more have been popping up, making the jump from animals to humans.
When people started to settle and cities developed about 10,000 years ago, our relationship with animals obviously changed, and spillovers took place, like smallpox, measles, tuberculosis, influenza, etc., originated in animal populations. And obviously that was a very big change from hunter-gatherers, where there wasn't the possibility of diseases to be sustained in large populations.
Diseases that are able to live between species like SARS make it nearly impossible to eradicate. And that's why the plague, which exists in rodents and killed between 75 to 200 million people in Eurasia, still exists to this day.
Ebola, MERS, SARS arise through very complicated interspecies relations, and they exist in reservoirs in the wild. Those diseases are very difficult for us to tackle.
Wild animals are just a small piece of the puzzle. The last century saw an industrialization of livestock, making a perfect intermediary for diseases. And in 2009, we saw the H1N1 influenza virus make the jump from pigs to people.
The world is now at the start of the 2009 influenza pandemic.
The US Centers for Disease Control and Prevention estimated that as many as 575,000 people died from H1N1 during the first year the virus circulated.
So when you mass produce animals and you have an outbreak, it's very easy for the disease to move very rapidly through the animal populations. And then linked to all of these is bigger environmental issues. Climate change means that diseases that could exist in some areas are moving into other areas. We're seeing mosquito-borne diseases move into areas where it wasn't posing a problem.
According to the WHO, a global temperature increase of 2 to 3 degrees Celsius would increase the number of people who are at risk of malaria by around 3 to 5%, or several hundred million. Malaria already killed 405,000 people in 2018. And linked to all of this is urbanization. Millions of people living side by side, allowing diseases to spread rapidly.
There are sort of environmental reasons why diseases happen in certain places, but I think that the fact that you've got mass cities, the fact you've got a lot of people moving, certainly helps in the spread of disease.
And that's why how governments respond is more crucial than ever. Critics of the coronavirus travel bans say it only exacerbates the outbreak. Shortages become more common. People suffering from non-coronavirus related illnesses have difficulty making it to hospital, and many flee before the measures are implemented. There isn't sufficient data that shows travel bans actually do anything to stop the spread.
It's interesting that as this coronavirus outbreak is happening, we've got an H5N1 outbreak in a poultry farm in China, we've got H1N1 in Taiwan. There are many other diseases around, and they could pose problems. We've had African swine fever decimating a pig population. 300 million pigs have died. So I think there's an issue about what diseases gets focused on, why it gets focused on, what the politics of that is.
What's clear is in order to tackle infectious diseases, a more integrated approach that considers all of the variables is needed.
Over the last 10-15 years, there's been a move towards One Health, which is an integrated health that essentially tries to put human health and animal health together, to say that actually we can't deal with human health unless we integrate and think about what's happening in animal populations. I think we need to go further in a much more integrated approach that draws on insights about how human behavior determines disease dynamics. Unless we understand these cultural, social processes, I think we're not going to be in a very strong position in the future to tackle outbreaks.
Understanding that new outbreaks are a complex issue that depends on more than just vaccines and sanitation, that they're interwoven in the way we live and consume, is perhaps the first step in tackling pandemics.
So, first thing you're gonna do when you find out a zombie apocalypse is going down is pull out your phone, take a selfie, put it on Instagram, Twitter, MySpace. I don't judge, and get that clout! If we're being realistic. But if you had any real common sense, the first thing you want to do is put on the right safety gear. No casuals just have a convenient hazmat suit or a suit of armor laying around in their closet, right? Here's what most of us have though. A bed mattress. How the fuck is a bed mattress gonna help me? Take your bed mattress and rip a giant hole big enough for your whole body to fit in it. Make another hole for your face, arms, and legs. The design's cool, cause if you want to hide, you can just pull back in like a turtle. Watch, okay? Hullaboom! Second thing is, you don't want to leave your stank-ass feet exposed just in case some zombies got foot fetish. Go grab some steel-toed shoes, cause when them zombies try to take a bite out of your toes, they'll be losing all their teeth instead. Tims are OP! Going back to the mattress armor, the only downside's gonna be that you're probably not gonna have much mobility, so you'll be getting zombie slobber all over you. Eventually you'll get so bored you'd rather just have one of them Shrek-looking mofos bite you. Unless you meet the one person who eats mattresses for a living, then you're pretty much screwed. What are the chances though? You're more likely to slide, trip, do a flip, and fall backwards on some brains, and that'd be the end of that. Oof. Hey, thank God this cushion saved my head. Help, I've fallen and I can't get up. Oh, fuck! Help! There's a lot more setbacks than I thought. Scrap it all. I take it back. For the sake of ease and being twinkle toes, go out there with joggers and tank tops. Whatever gets you hauling ass. Next, you want to build a smart, loyal, grateful team you can appreciate. Obviously, you want to bring your family and friends. But besides them, the few types of people I'd want to recruit are a medic, a genius, a jack of all trades who can do karate and shit, a buff Rambo type of dude, and a cheerleader, because it's important to stay positive.
Woohoo! No! What are we gonna do? We just lost Pedro. Goddamn Pedro!
Oh my god, if he wasn't dead yet before, you dead ass killed him this time. Man, calm down, Chad. Grip.
Hey, I know! Why don't we go to IKEA and get some hot dogs? Those are good. Or, you guys want to free all the animals at the zoo? Huh? Let's go on a cage opening spree. Why don't we go to Disneyland and look at all the attractions? Better yet, let's go to Disney Animation Studios and see the drafts for the upcoming movies. Into the unknown, into the unknown, into the unknown. Sorry.
Wait, I'm down. I want to see all the live-action remakes.
Stop. No, you don't.
Hence why you need a cheerleader, because everyone else is going to be an emo during this apocalypse. Once you found your squad, go find some weapons and get loaded with them. People would immediately think of guns and grenades. Nah, don't be stupid. Too much reliability on firearms would attract attention to other nearby zombies, so you're better off trying to limit usage with those. Alternatively, go for the sledgehammers, machetes, bats, crossbows, katanas, whatever the hell this is. What, you want an even cooler weapon? Yeah! Whoa, mama! These Wolverine claws are gonna kick so much ass. I mean, slice so much ass. Like, you can do the YMCA dance and kill zombies without even realizing it. Or, you can go Taz mode spinning like crazy, going like, ah! And be like one of them circular saw blades. Just make sure not to scratch your face by accident, or you're gonna end up looking like Freddy Krueger. Now it's time to start making moves. The one place you're definitely not gonna stay in long term, if you're not a knob, is a supermarket. You got good storage of food there, but most of the produce is gonna smell like garbage juice in the next few days. Unless you're down to pelt some zombies with rotten fruit first, before moving on to Costco, Home Depot, Target, Walmart, or Amazon package buildings, cause nowadays they got mostly everything you need to survive. You could get creative by putting the treadmills they got inside around the building entrances, all except one secret door so you can leave. Fat ass zombies can finally start doing cardio instead of chasing meat. If you got a case of Train to Busan zombies, where they can run like Usain Bolt, just max the speed of it so they can fly all the way to Jersey. I don't know if the electricity will work or not, but it's worth a shot anyways. Another practical getaway plan is to start collecting some food, first aid kits, clothes, your pets, whatever, whoever else you need on a boat, and move to a deserted island that's pretty far but hopefully stocked with natural food and okay living conditions. Who knows if zombies can survive underwater, but even if they could, can they swim? More realistically, I think they just drift in the water going like, duh, until they just rot and decompose. I don't know about y'all, but I'm just waiting for Zaddy Elon Musk to come up with a way for us to move to Mars. But if that doesn't happen and all else fails, you'd have a reason to keep moving, and that's when you're really gonna scrap with some zombies along the way. Some people are too scared to snuff zombies, and that's fine. My advice is to either play another role that's helpful to the team, or you overcome your fears by turning it into a contest. Make it a fun game.
I bet I can get way more head counts than you in the next hour.
Yeah?
Winner gets the last Twinkies?
Bring it on, biatch.
Next thing you know, you'll all be killing zombies left and right, up and down, sideways, diagonally, fourth dimensionally, just for some Twinkies. You might even get a chance to run into a zombie celebrity and take a selfie with them. And during that whole ordeal, one of you might actually get bitten, and that's when shit hits the fan. What's next? Zam. It really do be like that sometimes, huh? Well, there goes my arm. I guess that's that. It's time for me to meet Jesus. Goodbye. Oh shit! What the fuck? Listen, I saw this on The Walking Dead. When you get bitten, the infections are like a parasite. It slowly spreads through your whole body, so you just gotta cut off that one part that got bitten as soon as possible. Hell no! This is my dominant arm. I can't draw, play sports, eat, gamble, do anything without this arm. I'd rather go. Nah, you buggin'. Mad people have been born without body parts and still going on like champs. You're a champ, aren't you? Let me swing. Nah, that ain't me. It's my life, my choices. Medic, please say something. Man, hold still. Can't you see I'm trying to cut your arm off? Yeah, and that's exactly why I'm not holding still. You're a crackhead, leave me alone. Hear ye, hear ye. I'm the bearer of mad terrible news. This was an accident, but I think he got what he wanted. So that makes it okay. I just had a thought. What happens if a mosquito gets zombified? Just one of the legs could get bitten off while a zombie's trying to eat another dead guy's body. Since they already swarm over places that got massive stenches of blood, one infected mosquito could breed with another mosquito, make some zombie mosquito babies, and suck everyone's blood for food. And if they have the power to turn us humans into zombies, then fuck it, we're screwed. The end. You can't be attached to anyone who turns into a zombie, even your loved ones. They'll only see us as a nice piece of tomahawk steak after the change. Nothing else. The moment they turn into a zombie, it's time to say goodbye. At any rate, it's a whole messed up game of survival. You need to be 24/7 aware of your surroundings and prepared for every single situation. Invest in a fighting class or something, I don't know. Or, if you're a metal type of guy or gal, you could give zombies a taste of their own medicine and bite them instead. You probably turn into a zombie yourself, but at least you got your bittersweet revenge.
Why am I alive when everyone around me has turned to meat? It's because of my list of rules. Rule number 1 for surviving Zombieland: cardio. When the virus struck, for obvious reasons, the first ones to go were the fatties. Poor fat bastard. You had to get a gun and learn how to use it. Which leads me to my second rule, the double tap. In those moments when you're not sure the undead are really dead, don't get all stingy with your bullets. I mean, one more clean shot to the head. And this lady could have avoided becoming a human Happy Meal. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. Rule number 2, Ziploc bags. You got enough problems, moisture shouldn't be one of them. It wasn't long before the zombies began to get clever. When you're at your most vulnerable, somehow they could just smell it.
Can't a guy take a dubber in peace?
Don't let them catch you with your pants down. Rule number 3, beware of bathrooms. As zombies began to outnumber humans, well, that's when you had to cut all emotional ties. If the girls in your neighborhood are now fucked up little monsters, well, maybe it's time to stop driving carpool. You had to focus on your own survival, which leads to rule number 4. Pretty basic. Fasten your seatbelts. It's gonna be a bumpy ride. Motherfucker.
What are you looking for?
Nothing, I have this list.
Fucking with me?
No. You should actually limber up as well. Especially if we're going down that hill, it is very important. I'll catch up. Rule number 22. When in doubt, know your way out.
I want my caddy back! Stupid little bitches! Oh, I think I pulled something. You think the two of us are smart enough to come up with a con like that?
Really want to impress Wichita. But it would be in direct violation of Rule 17. Maybe the most important rule of all. Don't be a hero. Why don't you take this one? Sometimes Tallahassee's right. You gotta enjoy the little things. Even if that means destroying a whole lot of little things. Look at this fucking clown. Of course. It had to be a clown. Fuck. No, it had to be a clown. And it had to be Wichita for me to finally understand that some rules are made to be broken. Time to nut up or shut up. Fuck this clown. Rule number 32. Enjoy the little things. Tallahassee got his Twinkie. And even though life would never be simple or innocent again, as he savored that spongy yellow log of cream, we had hope.